this webinar today. We are going to show you some really cool stuff with Health Console, one of my favorite features in Totango, and I think it's going to help you to get familiar with that specific section in Totango. I'm going to share with you. I'm also going to do a demo with you and show you how to use it specifically. I'm Ron. You probably, some of you, I saw some familiar names in the list of participants. You probably know me as your customer success manager. So I'm part of the customer success team here in Totango, and helping our customers to success and to use the platform and get the most out of it. So welcome again. So today I'm going to talk about Health Console, and the Health Console is a specific section in Totango that helps you to do those things that you see in front of you. The main use cases that we use for that specific section is basically to compare different segments of your business and help you to get better understanding how the different segments of your portfolio are doing compared to another. This is one of the main use cases for using the Health Console. You can also monitor the health trends of those segments, and there is a good visualization of it in the Health Console. And I will show you later on the demo how it look like and how you can change the timing of those health trends. And it also helps you to increase the team productivity and to monitor how your team is doing as a customer success team. We also want to make sure that we are not overloading a specific person in the team, and make sure we distribute the accounts between everybody and making sure that they're also doing well and their accounts are healthy, and we're not just assigning randomly accounts to different team members. So Health Console is also a good tool for you as a manager to see and monitor what your team is doing. With that, and I think the most exciting part of the webinar is going and see the actual stuff in Totango. So I'm going to switch to one of our demo accounts, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you some usability options, how to use the Health Console. So what you see in front of you is the landing page of Totango, the My Portfolio page that you can see all your accounts and all their value and the number and the notification. You're probably familiar with that. And we are today going to focus on the Health Console that you see below the My Portfolio page. And oops, I got logged off for some reason, so I'm going to log in again. Okay. Here it is. So going back to the Health Console, that's where you are basically configuring all the different business segments. And this page is highly customized. And you can change basically a lot of things here, and it's an individual page that you will customize for yourself, and each member of your team can customize it as they want it to be. So it's very flexible, and you can look on different segments. The default, if you will log in and you didn't do any changes in the past, you're probably going to see the different health profiles that you set up during the onboarding phase, and you will see also the health score of each of those segments. So here in our demo accounts, we have different segments, different health profiles for paying accounts, for accounts that are onboarding, for small businesses and large customers, All of these are different segments that automatically being created on your Health Console, and you can see them here as a default map of your portfolio. You can see the number of accounts that are under this specific filter and the contract value, similar to what you see in your My Portfolio page, and of course the calculated number of the health of that specific segment. But what I want to show you today is how to create different segments and what kind of information you can get out of the data that we're sending to Totango. And for the example, if I want to look now in my portfolio from a different angle, not just by the profile that I created, the health profile, but by other metrics. So you have the option here in the top section of the page. You have the plus sign, and you can, if you click on it, you can add a segment. Adding a segment, you're probably familiar with the creation of lists. It's a very similar page, even though you have less options here. You can choose any attribute that we are collecting in order to filter your customer base. And I will give you some examples for that. One of the attributes that is very common to segment your customers by is the contract value. So most of our customers bring on that value into their into Totango on the account level. And let's say, for example, that I want to see how my customers that are less than $1,000 are doing. So I'm going to create a segment that is going to show me all the accounts that are less than $1,000. I'm going to hit save, and then I'm going to add it to the list of segments that I have here in the bottom. And if I don't want to see all the rest, by the way, I can remove the segment, or if I want to bring up one of the segments to be on the front of the page, I can move up the segments up the ladder. So you can have options to do that as well. Now, having one segment is nice, but one of the strongest things that we can do with the Health Console is to compare it to a similar segment, and that's what I'm going to do here. If I'm looking at the contract value, so maybe I want to look on also how another segment of the business is doing from the same metric. So if I'm going to take contract value, for example, then maybe I want to see also accounts that are more than and less than $10,000, for example. So, and I'm going to add this specific segment to my list of segments on the Health Console. So between 1K to 10K, that's the name of the segment, and I'm going to hit save, and I'm going to have another segment here. And as you can see here, it's our demo account, but you're probably going to be able to see differences in the health between the two segments. Here we can see that customers that are between 1K and 10K are doing much better than accounts that paid less than $1,000. And that's a good way to look on different segments of your accounts. Another option that I would suggest to do, and maybe this is something that you will want to track as well, is the let's say the tenure of your customer base, and we can choose, for example, a different attribute like creation date. And let's say that I want to see how customers that are created in the last 90 days, which is the last quarter, are doing. I'm going to add a segment for last 90 days. And so on. I can create segments for the last 90 days, for the last accounts that created between 90 days and 180, and so on and so on. That's going to give you a a very good indication on how your customers are doing during their customer journey. One other usability feature that you have here that I think is important, and I mentioned it in the beginning, is your ability to look at trends. So any segment that you create here on the right, you will be able to see how it is doing over time. And for example, you can see that the trend of accounts per month that are in that specific segment between 1K and 10K is doing over time. Obviously, because this is a demo account, so you don't see live data, you don't see many trends here, but because the data is not changing so much. But here, if you are about to launch a campaign or to improve your processes and work on specific segments of your customer base, you can watch here how your changes really affected that specific segment. For example, onboarding accounts, you want to see how your onboarding process is doing. If you are changing and optimizing things, you can look at the health of those accounts over time. One more thing that I think will be interesting for you to do is to look at the different time frames. And you have different time frames here, depends on how much time you are collecting data. And you can look on different perspectives for 6 months, but you can look also on a perspective of 1 year and see how the trends are. So it's pretty interesting to see trends and how you are effectively optimizing things within your customer success team. And one other thing that I mentioned in the beginning is the ability to see how your team is doing and to increase their productivity and to make sure that you are not overloading a specific customer success manager and distributing the work correctly. So one of the things that you can create, and I'm going up to the here to the top of the page, you have the ability to create different views, different filters to watch the distribution of accounts. And what I'm going to do here is create a new custom filter, and I'm going to focus on accounts that are assigned, for example, only for me. So as a manager, maybe I want to create a different filter for each member of my team, or if I have teams, then I want to have a different filter for specific teams with all the owners that are taking part in that team. So for example, I'm going to take Ron's account, and I'm going to create a different filter, and I can switch. Obviously, I don't have account in this demo account instance, but I'm going to choose somebody else that I know that has account. Cecilia, you heard her before, and let's see, account. And what I'm going to do now, if I switch to Cecilia from other filters I have, I'm going to see only her accounts, and I'm going to see all the segments that I created relatively to her portfolio. So, for example, I can see that she don't have accounts that are new, relatively new. She don't have any accounts from the last 90 days. Probably somebody else is getting it. You can also look at, on the team portfolio, and I created one in advance, like, I called it Team Turtle. And the definition here is all the members of that team, and you can see on how they're doing over time based on the same segments that you set up in the beginning. With that, I think if there are any questions, I would be happy to answer it. And I think we've kind of concluded the demo, so
okay.
I'm ready to.
Thank you so much, Ron. I think we had some new folks joining at the end of the session. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to type them into the chat box. And if you think of anything else that comes up after we end this webinar, feel free to connect directly to your customer success manager. Also, we'll be sending out a recorded session of this webinar so you can refer back to it. And again, we're going to be launching some new series of webinars coming soon, and we would love your feedback as to kind of what topics you're interested in. So if you can maybe communicate that to us directly or send it directly to your customer success manager with some information that you're interested in seeing coming from us in the future in these webinar series, we'll really appreciate that. So with that, we'd like to thank you, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you for joining. Take care. Bye-bye.